Lacey here, Front Row Promotions. Tonight we have my sidekick, my beautiful sister, Candy. Candy Burton is with us in the house. And our nice guest that joined us tonight is Victoria Fire. We have Caitlin, Andy, and Corey. I'm sorry, I can't see. And Corey. Welcome to the show, Victoria Fire.
As usual, nobody cares about the bassist.
No, I forget his name sometimes too. Yeah, thanks for having us, though. We appreciate it.
I never forget his name.
What's that?
I never forget his name.
Oh,
Thank you, Caitlin. It's very sweet of you.
Oh.
You got it.
There you go. So tell me about you guys. Well, first of all, I'd like to know about your name, Victoria Fire. Where did that come from?
Caitlin, you want to take it, or?
We'll let you take it. I
Okay.
feel like you actually really, really contributed to this.
Yeah, I mean, like probably most bands, we kicked ideas around for quite a while, and it's like always the toughest thing.
Yeah.
I've been in multiple bands with Corey, and we've been through that a lot of times. It's always tough coming up with a name, but
I remember one time, the one band that somebody just wore us down. It was like 3 a.m. It's like, I just don't even care anymore. We'll just go with whatever you want. I'm just gonna
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't quite to that level on this one, but we got pretty close. But no, we wanted something that kind of, I guess, would portray that, the fire thing. Other bands have used that, but we always liked that, and it kind of, I don't know, just we gravitated towards that. And then I think, Caitlin, I think her middle name is Victoria. We discovered that, and you're just kind of putting words together. I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool. And we started kind of coming up with some imagery that could go with that. And it was like, yeah, Victoria Fire kind of flows off the tongue. And I could see that on you start thinking about logos and stuff. And yeah, it just kind of came together, and we're like, yep, that's the one. So
I'm telling you, it's really cool because I love how the video goes and you have the fire in there. I'm going to show that video here in a little bit, but that is amazing. When I first saw that, and I'm like, oh, definitely, I've got to get these guys on the show.
Well, we're glad. So it looks like it worked with the name then. So that's good.
Yes, it's well, it's perfect. And I was just telling Caitlin, my daughter's name is Victoria too, so that's pretty cool.
Perfect.
It's a cool name.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, how long have you guys been a band?
Oh, wow. So,
Andy and Caitlin, you guys started it, so go ahead.
yeah, Andy and I, we actually started jamming together. Andy, was it 2018?
Yeah, I think it was summer of 2018.
Cool.
Yeah, we started jamming together, and we kind of went through the process of trying to build a band. And Andy had been friends with Corey for a long time, so he recruited Corey, and we went on the hunt for a drummer. And I think it was once we hit 2019, we started playing out pretty consistently.
Nice.
I think did you guys find each other on Craigslist? It's
Yeah.
it's honestly been a while since I even had to think about like the origins of all this. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all I knew because I didn't really have many connections. And I knew I wanted to start something. And to me, I just thought, okay, well, we'll give it a shot.
Awesome.
Yeah, Craigslist is you kind of have to dig a little bit. I mean, I've been through this. I've been in a lot of different bands, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, you're happy when it does, and it did definitely work out. I went over and met Caitlin, and definitely saw a lot of potential in what we were doing, and you started to kind of see where that could go. And we went through a couple people that until we found got to Corey, and then our initial drummer, and then like Caitlin said, we just kind of got going in 2019, and basically we were going strong until COVID hit, unfortunately, like a lot of bands. And then it's been kind of tough to get back on track, but we're getting there now. So
That's cool. COVID knocked everybody out. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we actually have a show tomorrow, our first one in a long time.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Where are
we're
you
looking forward
playing?
to it. Out in Pittsburgh, a place called The Bridge.
The Bridge?
Yeah,
Okay.
a newer place out here in a part of town called East Liberty. It's the Bridge Music Bar.
Nice.
Yeah, it's our first show in about a year and a half almost. So yeah, we're really pumped up about it.
Oh, so cool. I live in Baltimore. I know Pittsburgh isn't too far, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
we got to get you guys in Baltimore.
I
We
was
would
just
love
going
to.
to say, I have family in Maryland, actually,
Nice.
pretty close to Baltimore. So
Nice.
I think that would work perfectly.
When you do, let me know because I'm definitely coming out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We just booked for something in Akron, so we're willing to travel for
Awesome.
fun to do.
Mhm.
Now, we were talking a little off the air, Andy. You mentioned that you've been to Toronto. Is that on your radar as a band? Do you guys think you come up here and perform in Toronto?
I mean, I don't rule anything out. We're definitely. I mean, we're
Why
since
not?
we're getting started up here again. We're trying to do some local stuff and get our feet wet and get into the live scene again. But yeah, we're looking to get out anywhere we can.
Awesome. Okay, so talk about yourselves individually. Like, do you guys all have a musical background? Does it run in your family? Like, how did that kind of come about?
Caitlin, I'll always defer to you first. Always defer to you first. The band's named after you, so.
My
Also,
story
I
is
think
a
like
little.
bassist, I'm just way low on the totem pole. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's always last.
Oh,
Corey's always last.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we can let him go first once.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Corey?
Yep, I'm good.
Oh.
I'm happy to play the supporting role. That's
oh.
Oh, Corey, you go first.
Flipped it on him.
No,
Woo!
you.
all right. I'm sorry. What was the question? I was going to pick it up from context from what those two said. It was about how.
No, it's all good. So
started.
I was just asking about your backgrounds musically. How did that start? Like, is it something that ran in your family? What kind of inspired
yeah,
you
my
guys to
mom-
do this?
So my aunt's actually a music teacher, and my mom had always played piano growing up. And I think and now in retrospect, I wish I had stuck with it, but she wanted me to start on piano lessons, and I was stubborn and was like, I hate this. And I can remember I got my first guitar when I was 13. I actually really, really wanted to play drums, but my parents said absolutely not because they're way too loud and big. And now that I'm a parent, I totally get it because I'm like, do I really want all that loud noise? But with the guitar, it works. You can put the headphones in the amp. So that was what we settled on. And I think like a lot of kids my age, and Andy's roughly the same age as me. I'm 41, and Smells Like Teen Spirit came out in 94. I was
91.
30, or 91. I'm sorry.
Yeah, get it right. No.
I'm thinking of In Utero. Yeah. So that came out in 91, and I was about 10, and that's just about I think like the age where you're starting. At least I was starting to really like get into music on my own. Because my mom always had music playing in the house, and I loved all those bands that she was into. She's like a big fan of Journey in Chicago and pretty much anything Eric Clapton, and so I always listened to that stuff. But then you start branching out, and again, like a lot of kids, I think my age is just like I fell into that, just falling in love with Nirvana, and I just always wanted to play guitar. And then I got the guitar, and how I got into bass was. Like a lot of bands, I think nobody wanted to play the bass. It was like you all want to be the guitar. But I actually remember the very first bass line I ever learned was "Breed" from, again, Nirvana, and it was like basically, what is that really cool low end? Like that's what you can do with bass. I'm like, oh, I kind of dig that. And then I pretty much just started off from there. I again going into the '90s music. obviously that's the era of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Flea. And once I realized what the bass can do, I just stuck with it ever since then. But formally, though, I never took. My one big regret is I never like learned how to read music or anything. I took lessons. We kind of started on it, but again, I was impatient. And I just wanted to get going. Like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to start playing like a Primus song. How do I get there? So, but yeah, ever since then, it's like it's hard to believe. Oh my God, I guess next year I'll be coming up on 30 years of playing music, and I can remember growing up and hearing about somebody doing something for 30 years. It's like, my God, they must be on death's door. And now it's like, yep, now I'm there.
There you go. Very cool.
Yeah.
Caitlin or Andy, who wants to go next?
Yeah,
I
guess
feel like I should get the boss Caitlin around here because she forced me to do it.
you can.
But
You can.
no, I don't like Andy. So Andy, you go.
You go, Andy.
Okay.
You next. You
That's
next.
that's fair. Yeah, so my my mom sings. Well, she used to anyway. She used to sing in like the church choir and stuff, and has a really nice voice. I don't think I haven't inherited that part quite so much, but my dad's a drummer, and
Oh wait, this is on video. I'm sorry, I was not shaking my head no vigorously. Not the singing, sorry.
fair enough. But yeah, my dad's a drummer, and so he always had drums around the house, and he was playing in bands, and I picked it up off of him, and so I started out as a drummer in about middle school. I did take some lessons, the marching band type stuff, and I never was in the marching band, but I took like those drum lessons and took some from him, and then me and my buddies like Corey got the grunge thing hit, and that kind of just totally shifted my music taste, and that's I wanted to play loud and dirty music, and so me and my buddies started up a band, and kind of like Corey's, we needed somebody to play bass, so we just told one of our buddies that he had to start playing bass. That's I guess most of them do it. So that's kind of I think how they all start. But no, I was a drummer pretty much through most of high school. Started picking up a little bit of the guitar from my guitar player and his brother and a couple other people I knew that played. I didn't really know what I was doing quite yet, but I started to learn enough to start writing, some parts of songs and things like that. And then college hit, and I couldn't really take my drums with me. Didn't fit in the dorm room, so ended up really just kind of gravitating to the guitar, just mostly out of convenience. But then I really fell in love with it, just creatively. It was so much easier to just start writing songs, and then. Actually, the first band that I officially played guitar in was when I met Corey. We were both at Penn State, and we've had a mutual friend, and he was in that band with them, and they just needed a lead guitar player, and I was like, well, I could take a crack at this. This would be my first shot at it, so joined up with them, and I've known Corey ever since, and we've been in 5 or 6 bands since then, and it's kind of how it's progressed, but. Yeah, a couple other people in my family around Pittsburgh, they play pretty regularly. So, yeah, it's kind of in the bloodstream, I guess. But
Cousin Norm.
Yeah, cousin Norm Nardini for anybody from Pittsburgh he's my second cousin. But he's a lifetime musician, and he's been playing forever, and he's well known around Pittsburgh. And I wish I was not at his level, that's for sure. But he's But he is, like I said, it runs in the bloodstream, I guess. So
That's very cool. Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yeah, so my story is definitely a little different. Music's always been a huge part of my life. Growing up, my parents always had classic rock blaring through the speakers.
Yeah.
And I always dug it a little bit, but when I was in 8th grade, one of my friends really got me into like Stained and Cold and Metallica. And I think what's the other band? I was getting really into like Saliva at the time. And
That's all right up my alley. That's awesome.
yeah, and it just hit me, and I'm like, I love this music. Like I would just sit in my room and just blare it all day. And I never really saw myself as someone, I guess, that like as a musician. I was in choir, I think, when I was in elementary school, mainly because I had to be. I was horrible with public speaking. I didn't like to be in front of audiences, but I, I think it was about maybe like 10 to 15 years ago. I've always really loved writing, and I love to write like lyrics, and I thought like, okay, I'd really like to be able to sing these. And I'm like, well, like my voice, if it's okay, maybe I could work on this. And that's what I did. I really just started, you know, I guess learning how to sing. And from there, I went on to joining my first band. I'm sure I was incredibly awful at the time,
Oh,
but as the years progressed, I just kept practicing and learning, and I mean it's pretty constant. But yeah, and that's how I ended up here.
that's
So what was
awesome.
the first? This is an opportunity for, I guess, me to learn some stuff too, because either we've talked about this, it's so long ago I can't remember, but I know about your bands here in Pittsburgh. But were you in any bands in college? I can't remember.
I wasn't. I saw a lot of bands, and that's when I really started to get into, I think, like the writing, and I love like the idea of just like writing down all of my thoughts and really thinking like, okay, I can create these into lyrics. But then it was like, okay, I need to find a band. So yeah.
Yeah, college is where I really got into music, because I grew up in a small town and we didn't have like any like live music venues that were nearby. But like we all went to Penn State and there was this venue, the
Yeah.
Crowbar, and I used to go there
Yes.
all the time. It didn't matter what band was playing. It was just like I want to see live music.
Mhm.
And you just get exposed to so many different styles, and it was just always so cool to see everybody perform. And it was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I want to do more of that.
Oh,
Well,
so cool.
funny story. I went to Penn State, but I went a couple years after you guys did. And when I was there, it wasn't called the Crowbar. They changed the name to the Cell Block, and I actually saw Drowning Pool and Edema there.
Oh, no way.
Nice. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey and I did manage to play there, I think, once or twice, and when it was still
Oh, that's
Still
cool.
the Crowbar.
still a Crowbar, yeah. And I did see some great shows there. I saw Breaking Benjamin like early on in there
Hmm.
when they started getting going, and that was one of the tightest bands I've ever seen, definitely live. And actually, me and my dad went to see the Yardbirds there, a version of the Yardbirds. It took him just there for his birthday, I think, and we got to hang out with them after. So I've seen some different stuff there for sure.
Very
Oh,
cool.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Who would you like to collaborate with, and where would you like to play?
Boy, I know Caitlin's answer, but I want to hear it.
No, I don't. I have, as far as where I'd want to play, really anywhere. Like I don't know that I have any specific places in mind other than, just really exploring, getting out there, getting our music out there. Um, Collaboration, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. What about you guys?
I think this is where I'm becoming such an old man, and especially now with kids. And it's like, it's just like, the goal isn't winning, it's to have fun. It's like, I've never even really thought about it, because I just like going anywhere to play. It's just like,
Yeah.
at this stage in my life, this is like a really cool, like, thing for me to do to get, the creative juices going and have fun. And like, if things, if people listen to our music and we can play bigger places, awesome. But like, I'm actually super stoked just to go play tomorrow. And it's
Mhm.
like seeing the bands that we're playing with. It's just like, all right, I get to see some live music. And I don't know. That's a really good question. It's like, boy, if I had, I guess realistically, it'd be really cool to play like the main stage of Mr. Smalls. That would be freaking awesome. That's like, if you guys are familiar with that venue here in Pittsburgh, but it's probably the closest thing that we have to something like the Electric Factory in Philly. Like where you can get fairly big names coming through there, like not so huge that they're playing like the bigger arenas or anything, but a place like that, or I guess Stage AE would be awesome too. Opening for somebody would be great there, but yeah, I don't know. I think I just like playing so much that wherever we go, I'm always having a good time. It's like,
Hey, there you go.
He's simple. He's a simple man. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Real quick, I mean, I think Caitlin and Corey probably know what my answer will be. My favorite band is the Deftones, so I would love to collaborate with my guy Chino if I ever got a chance. But he's kind of.
Oh, I thought we were talking realistically.
No, that's my pipe dream. That's my pipe dream one. Now,
okay.
Now
I hope
there's a lot of local,
and then so that everybody's like, look at this asshole saying that Andy will never get to even meet Chino.
Hey, she asked. It was an open-ended question, so I answered it.
Well,
But no, there's a lot
I'll
of.
tell you something. Nothing's impossible, you guys. My favorite band of all time is Ghost, and I actually got to
Oh, awesome.
on a whim. I got to meet Tobias Forge. Okay, so anything's fucking possible.
See that? See that, Corey? No, that's awesome. But honestly, there's a lot of great local bands too. That I'm hoping that maybe could put together some type of collaboration here in the future. We all have some friends that we kind of have in mind that would be cool to bring in on a track here or there, or hopefully maybe guest star on one of theirs or something. So, that's short term, like that's hoping to do some of that kind of thing for sure.
That's awesome. Lisa,
Yeah.
go for
So
it.
So who did you see first in concert? Like when you were a teenager, looking back in those fun years, who did you see first for the first time?
Caitlin's laughing.
I'm laughing because first I'm thinking about, like, my parents took me to see Jimmy Buffett when I was maybe like 8. I'm not sure how old I was. I was young. And then it's crazy now. I'm like thinking back to it. Somehow when I was I don't know if it was middle school, my friends took me to see Christina Aguilera and Nelly. But if we're talking about band, like first
Don't feel
band
bad.
that I saw
Don't
that I
feel
was
bad.
really into.
My very first show was Backstreet Boys, Caitlin, so you're in good company.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. The first band I think I saw that I was really, really into was back in the day was Stained.
Stained.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually, again, like I didn't see. Maybe I just wasn't ambitious enough, I guess, in like high school. But I grew up in a smaller town, and like to go to any kind of like live venue, I don't think I even ever. I didn't. The very first band I saw in college was actually Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was obsessed with them, still am. But I was like, I need to see Flea in concert. That was my goal, and I went. I remember that was my very first one. Pretty much, I went to pretty much anything that came through at Penn State, but that was a big dream of mine. Was always to see them, and I was so excited for it.
Awesome. Andy?
Yep. I mean, I went to a lot of local shows for a while, but I think honestly, the first one I think I went to was a pretty big festival. I don't know if you might, well, if you're not from around Pittsburgh, you might not have even, but it was called the Rolling Rock Town Fair. And there were 3 of them, I think, at least. I went to the first 2, which were definitely the best 2, in my opinion. They were held out at this fairgrounds out in Western PA, and really big concert. And the first one, I think, was headlined by Chili Peppers, and there were a bunch of other bands. I went to the first 2, and I can't remember who was on which one, but I mean, some of the bands that I got to see were Stained, Deftones, Incubus, Fuel, Filter. I mean, it live. Stone Temple Pilots was the headliner for the second one. So that was basically the first two concerts that I remember, because right around the end of my high school days, I think, like early college, and that was very memorable. The second one was a total mud fest, and it was awesome.
Never got to go to a festival. It's always one of my big musical regrets from my youth would be I never went to any Warped Tour or Lollapalooza, and those were both right up my alley, and I just
What
never
about
got.
X Fest? Did you go to X Fest?
Yeah, but I did.
That counts.
Yeah, I always really wanted to go
that
to
counts.
Warped Tour. Warped Tour was because I was super into pop punk bands. I still am. I still really like them, but what's that? That's I actually have thought about going out to that Vegas festival, the one that
It's sold out.
Yeah. I'm sure you could buy secondhand tickets. They'd probably be real expensive, but my God,
True.
the bands on that bill are just. What's the name of that festival? Something about it's
Sick New World or Sick Something World.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, never. Those are the two that I really wanted to go to. I just never did. Never got around to it.
Gotcha. Now I know was it Brad Lee? He had his masquerade out there in Philly. Is that I can't think of the name of the place. Is that close to you
2300
guys?
Arena. 2300
That's it.
Arena.
Thank you, Candy. Have you played there, or have you heard of that?
I'm sorry. Something's wrong with my computer. I think I heard I heard the audio cut out there. I didn't hear what place you had said.
Oh,
2300 Arena.
Oh, where's that out? Yeah, out at?
It's in
Say
Pittsburgh.
Philly, or
Is it
did you say?
Pittsburgh?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't think. I'm not familiar with that one. If it is in Pittsburgh.
Actually, yeah, no,
Okay.
it's in Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it is in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten out. I mean, we as a band haven't gotten out there yet, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it should be an awesome place to play. See your show.
Yeah, it's probably one of those places that I know to see because I lived out there for a little bit. I still have a 610 area code actually
Oh,
from my Philly days. Yeah, I really like Philly. That was a fun place. I'd love to get back there.
cool.
So yeah, put it on the list of things to do.
There you go.
well, add it to the list.
There you go. There you go. So, what do you like most about being a musician?
I'm waiting to see if I have permission to speak first. Or if Caitlin wanted to go again. Aren't I hogging it too much? Doesn't somebody else want to jump in the fray first here?
Candy, you go first.
Me? I mean, there's that is a great question. I don't even stop and think about it most of the time. It's just so ingrained in my DNA at this point. Honestly, when I'm not working, it's pretty much what I'm thinking about most of the time. Working on band things and writing music or in the studio or doing something. But there's so many great parts of it. Just getting the creative juices out. There's the output. You have all this stuff kind of built up in your head, and you want to find somewhere good that you can put it. And music's always been that place for me. And just a collaboration too. I've gotten to work with so many great people, and I made so many great friends just doing it. These two right here, of course, and
Good
yeah,
save,
it's just.
I could tell you were going to blow right past that. You were about to name everybody but us.
Oh,
I mean, you're on.
oh boy.
You're on the list. You're on the list.
Yeah, that is a good question. I guess it's scary, weird for me to think about that. I've been playing stuff for 30 years, and kind of like with Andy, I have an acoustic and my just sitting right here, and there's probably not a day goes by where I just don't pick it up and just kind of absentmindedly start playing is just because I don't know. I think this is something I definitely inherited from my mom, even though she kind of stopped playing music. Like my mom's 70 and she's the kind that if you go to a concert or anything, she is embarrassing the hell out of me because she is up in the aisle like dancing and she's like, I need to feel the music. It makes me feel alive.
That would be
And-
like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my personality.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where it is, and I think actually that's why like there's pretty much not a genre of music I don't listen to, and I think that's how I like grew up. My mom's just like if it has a a beat that you can feel, it's something that connects with you, and
Exactly.
I feel that same way. Like I just have so much fun. Like even like when I woke up today before I like went to work, I just plugged in my bass and started playing one of my favorite Helmet bass riffs. And it's just such a and I'm sitting there just like grooving. I'm like, yeah, it just makes me feel so good and get ready for the day. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I don't even know if I have a favorite part of it. It's kind of like Andy said, it's just like a part of who you are, and I just like doing it so much that I don't even know if I could separate out the. I don't know. It's just what
The how and the why.
Yeah. One of the cool things about like playing is like it doesn't matter how small the show is, as long as there's like if you see like a couple people like listening to it and kind of doing like all right, this is pretty good. Like that's just like such an awesome feeling. It's like they're having a good time. That makes me feel so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think for me, there's just like this moment sometimes like when we're practicing where I'm singing a lyric and it it makes me feel something like, and it's so strong. And I think the idea that we can create something. I can sing a lyric and that might mean something to someone else, or that might, I don't know, just resonate with them or help them in some way or make them feel something.
Right. Like you touched their heart or touched their soul. They felt
Yeah.
a good vibe or something from that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm very vibey. So
Awesome.
I'm very much like a feeler, and that's how I make a lot of decisions, which I think has kind of led me here. So I don't know. Sometimes I just get that feeling like, okay, this is good, this is right. Like if we're kind of going through the writing process, sometimes it just feels right.
Right. Absolutely. So, what's that feeling like when you first get on that stage? You get out there and everybody's out there waiting for you to come out, and then you start playing that music. And what do they do? What's that feeling like?
Oh gosh, I think for me, like the first, I'm at least trying to like realize what's going on in the first couple minutes, because you go from like 0 to, I don't know, 0 to 60. And I don't know, I almost want to say like not necessarily nervous, because I feel like even though I'm mostly over that, like I still kind of get like those jitters sometimes. But as soon as we start playing, it feels like, okay, yeah, like this is pretty awesome. There are people out here. It's a cool feeling.
I'm initially apprehensive because Andy well knows, and you've seen it a couple of times, Caitlin, is that for whatever reason, I don't know if I'm just absent-minded or I'm just one of those people, but I pretty much something goes wrong for me every single time I play. Whether it's
No.
like, I tend to get very energetic, less so in my old age.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh my God, this is a cardio workout jumping around.
It is that too.
I have tripped. I have knocked my cables out. I've stepped on them, ripped them out. I've dropped my guitar. I've kicked disconnected pedals, knocked over amps. So actually, my first time, it's kind of interesting for me. I'm like, I wonder what new disaster is going to happen during the show. It's kind of exciting to think about
Right.
what is going to happen. But yeah, I just get really excited. Again, I think especially Andy and I, we were in a cover band for a while, and we both did it just to make money on the side because at the time we were mid-20s, and I was in grad school at the time, and I think Andy, you were probably just starting out. It's like, all right, we need some extra money, and we ended up getting some like pretty big shows where you played to like, 800, 900 people, probably maybe a little more than that at some of those shows. But then, like, we go from that. Sometimes, like, even if there's 4 people in the crowd, I still get apprehensive about it too, because I'm like, I really want them to like us. I don't care how many people are there. I'm like, just like, I want them to like us, and I want them to have a good time.
There you go.
But I know that I'm always having a good time, because I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing for me. Yeah, I don't really get like at this point. I don't really get nervous about when I'm up there playing in the middle of the set. But I always have kind of these. I'm always in my own head about the gear, what could go wrong here, or that kind of stuff. That's usually like the butterflies that I get are always about just mostly like gear related, or like, will the sound be good, or that kind of thing. But then once plug in and everything's working, and you start playing that first song and it's sounding good, and you're starting to vibe and get some energy back from the crowd. And yeah, like they both said, like it doesn't matter like how many people are even there, as long as you're seeing that, even if there's just a few people that are enjoying it, that's really all you need. So yeah, once the song gets going, and you just kind of forget about all that stuff, and that's why we do it. It's just a blast.
Absolutely.
And it always goes so quickly. It's like one of those things that just flies when you're on stage. Like, you can never even. It's like, oh my god! Like, sometimes, like, we've gotten so into it when we have, like, if we have a longer set list, and sometimes you just they're like, oh my god, we're on our last 2 songs, or our time's almost up. It's just so fun. It just goes like that.
It's like, wow, where'd the time go? We just got started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. It's like that adrenaline rush. As soon as it kicks in, and then you're having a great time, and then poof, it's over with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We've had some shows like that or some sets where it kind of has been that way, because they're about like 30 minutes. So like as soon as before you know it, they're over.
Oh, it just goes way too fast. Like waiting in a line for an amusement ride for like a 3-hour wait, and then boom. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like Corey said, we've played in some cover bands, and it's a different thing, because like in that you play for 3 hours a night. Usually, you're the entertainment for the evening, and you get to play about usually most places 2-3 hours. So that's like it. And then when you get into an original band, you're normally playing with some other bands and doing 30-45 minute sets generally. You're really never more than an hour, unless you're like a well-known national headliner somewhere at a bigger venue. But otherwise, you get in and you give them your best stuff and give it your all. And yeah, it definitely, if the set feels like it goes quick, it was probably a good. You probably had a good show, I think.
That's good. Candy, up to you.
It kind of caught me off guard, because
I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit of an airhead tonight.
Oh no, you're not.
So how about like funny story, aside from all the accident-prone things that happened to Corey? How about funny stories from your time performing and stuff like that? Is there anything you can share with us?
I know. I'm trying to think.
Let's see.
Can't think of any one particular thing, but yeah, there's,
I'm gonna think on that, and I'm sure I can come up. I know there's a lot.
I don't know, the goofiest thing I've ever done.
One of the goofiest things, and one of the maddest I ever got. And I don't know why, because it was so stupid, but it was at the Ginger Hill Tavern when we were playing with Walk of Shame. And they would put this stage. It was a big stage, but it was odd. They would put it, not odd, but I mean, the setup was unusual. Remember, they would put that big wooden platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't really a stage. That was the thing.
Yeah, on top of their the tables that they had for the restaurant.
Very makeshift. Yeah.
And so, like, you were basically the level that you were playing is like, for most people, if they put their like hands up, they're right at your feet. And I remember this one guy kept untying my shoe.
What the?
And I was like, of all the ways to mess with somebody, like, and I was like, and it was like almost the audacity of it really made me mad. Because like, I'm like, it's one of those things like, you know, it's almost like dealing with a little kid when you're like, really, I can see you. What are you doing? And so like I had to stop him like 4 times, and I kept tying it, and he just thought it was like the funniest thing in the world. And I remember I got so pissed, I just took on the one that he bent over, and I remember I just kicked him right in the head. So that was the maddest. I think that's the maddest.
Wait,
That's
Corey,
the maddest I've ever gotten.
I thought of something.
And it's just like the most bizarre. It makes me think of like it's and maybe it's stuck with me because I've always loved that stupid scene in Austin Powers where they have the odd job character and he throws a shoe at him and he goes, honestly, who throws a shoe? And it was like,
Who unties a shoe? Yeah.
yeah, it was like, who unties a shoe? Why would you get like? I would rather you like tell me I suck or throw something at me. I mean, that's a normal everyday occurrence for me.
Right.
But untie my shoe. I didn't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I do have. I do remember though, and this is like funny now in retrospect. But do you remember? You probably don't even remember this, Andy. But we played that St. Patrick's Day show, and it was shit show because there was so many people there. But my ex-girlfriend started making out with my friend, who didn't know that was my girlfriend. Because like it's like one of those like 2 degree of separation friends. He's like a friend of a friend. And that was literally right in front of me. And I'm like, I guess I gotta play the song before I say something. So I'm like, you know, do like I'm like, why is my girlfriend making out with my friend? This sucks.
I don't think we're gonna beat either of Corey's. So
Well, I just thought of a funny band story. And I don't know, I won't get too specific, but we took a trip to Harrisburg to record a demo. And Andy doesn't know this, but I was really stressed out and I was really tired and I started crying to Corey. And I don't know if Corey remembers either.
I do. I thought you were going a completely different direction. That's not funny. That's just sad.
No, but it was funny because I think you were just like, what? What's wrong? Like, what are you gay? We just had some funny memories. I felt like we had some good funny memories there.
That's good. Oh.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything in particular. I mean, I'm like trying to run through I've played like probably 500 to 1,000 shows in my lifetime. Like I'm trying to think of just something that stands out. It's probably buried in the back there somewhere. But if I think of it before the end of the hour here, I'll definitely let you know.
Okay.
I always love to ask that question because I used to be actually in a band. I was a stage actress for an Alice Cooper tribute band about.
No, nice.
So yeah, so our very first show we played to about 4,000 people. It was a Halloween themed show, and this girl came up to me afterwards. She was like drunk off her ass, and she's like, "Candy, can you sign my boobs?" Like that, like a valley girl. Can you sign my boobs? And I'm like, really? First of all, you want my autograph? I'm a nobody. Second of all things, you want me to sign your boobs? Okay.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I just thought that was funny. So I always like to hear other people's, other stories from other artists, musicians, and stuff. Because funny shit happens when you're playing and you're on the road. So.
Yeah, I haven't got to sign a boob yet. I mean, I guess that's on the list.
I haven't either.
Well, look, some of my friends have already made out with my girlfriend. You're not signing my wife's boobs. I'll tell you that right now.
We need a volunteer.
Anyway, Lisa, back to you.
Okay. So if you weren't in the rock band and doing this wonderful music that you're doing, what would you be doing?
Gynecologist.
Ah!
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Woo!
Any takers?
Oh my lord!
Let's let Corey go first. I think Corey should go first.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know. You mean like as in terms of like a side hobby? Like what would I dedicate my time to?
Right, like if you weren't doing this, what else?
Yeah,
would you do?
because like so my wife and I, it's kind of like the what do you enjoy about music thing. It's like this, like if I ever had to pick one thing that to do in my life, it would be like if we had made it big, or if you were in a band that made it big. Because like my wife and I we had to fill out this thing, and it's like, what is your dream job? And that's what I put. I was like to be in a rock band. So if it weren't that, professional golfer, that would be
Oh, cool.
that would be the dream.
There you go.
I love playing golf. You're in the outdoors. It's not too strenuous in terms of like physical activity, which is good for me because I am in horrible shape. So you obviously have to be in very good shape to be a professional golfer. But what I'm saying is, like, I think I could manage, if need be. But
Corey he is a pretty good golfer. He has given me some tips that I immediately forgot the next time around, but they were good tips at the time. So
Okay.
I suck at my dad's always been into golf, and he used to always take me and my brother to driving ranges, and I could barely drive the ball like 20 yards. I sucked at it. So there you go. Andy, what about you?
Like, yeah, I guess if you're asking, like, how would I fill my time if I wasn't playing music? Honestly, I think I'd probably travel because I would actually have money in my pocket that I wasn't spending on gear and studio time and all kinds of things like that. And I could actually, go and do some more of that. But yeah, I think that's probably what I would do. Be doing some more traveling. Obviously I'd love to get to do some playing in the band as well. Hopefully those two things can come together someday. But yeah, I'd probably do some more of that.
Very cool. Caitlin.
I don't know. I've kind of had these thoughts of like maybe becoming a life coach.
Oh,
I don't know how good I would be at it, but I have a degree in counseling, and that's something that I feel like I've always always enjoyed. Yeah, but I think rather than counseling, I kind of like the idea of like the coaching. Like you're kind of like helping other people make decisions versus I don't know. I don't know. I could just see it, maybe.
She'd be good at it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think she would be.
I'll have to test it out on you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I can. You don't have enough time to life coach me. Nobody does.
Oh.
It'll be like that. It'll be like that Seinfeld when George tells Jerry all of his secrets, and he goes, "Yikes! Well, good luck.
Good luck with all that." Yeah, she'd be. Yeah, you'd have to quit your job. You would have to quit your job, and you would have to tell the family that you're going to need time to dedicate to this because it would be a full-time job.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Very cool.
Oh, I have a good funny band moment that I just thought of.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it was just the bizarre thing. It was when we were first starting out with Walk of Shame, and it was our friend Scott loved that we played Man in the Box, and he got up there all confident, jumped on stage, and we thought he was just going to stand there because like he was drunk.
Right.
And, you all know Man in the Box, and he was just standing off to the side waiting for his moment. And then when it came time to belt out the chorus and scream, he just grabbed the microphone and started screaming. You remember this? But he was so he fell backwards into the drums and knocked the entire kit over.
That was our very first. That was our very first show.
Was our
Like,
first-
God.
I knew that was early on. But yeah, I remember we had to stop playing the whole song because like we literally don't have drums. He fell backwards drunk into them.
Yep. He he put an end to that show. It was great in glorious fashion.
I'm gonna try not to do that tomorrow night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think you'll be okay.
A bit of a personal question, I suppose, because each of you are going to chime in on this. What do you guys do to prepare for a show? Like, do you have any like pre-show rituals that you do? Caitlin's thinking, so let's go with
Yeah.
Andy first.
I'm showing mine.
Ah.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, to get the jitters out. No,
You need to find that sweet spot where it doesn't affect you, but it loosens you up.
yeah, I mean, nothing in particular. I'll usually run the set and then check all my gear for the third time and make sure everything's working and just go through those kind of those routines. There's nothing in particular, I guess, but usually I find like if I don't do a little bit of a warm up, like sometimes if you don't warm up at all as a guitar player, you can get up there in the first song and it's like your fingers aren't working. So you definitely want to do that. And vocally, I'm sure it's the same thing. Like you got to get your reps in ahead of time to kind of knock the rust off a little bit, even if it was just yesterday that you did it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Just like driving a car, you gotta let it warm up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
My big thing is to make sure my shoes are tied very tight.
Yeah, he has a complex. He has a complex now, as you can tell from that guy untying his shoes.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's mine. Nobody's touching my damn shoes tonight.
Yeah, that all makes sense now. You're always looking at your shoes.
my ritual is, well, there's kind of two parts to it. I do a lot of ridiculous vocal warm-ups, but that aside from that, I guess something that's become like a new ritual is that and I'm lucky for this, my husband actually has like kind of helped me put some of my makeup on because I always try to wear fake eyelashes and I'm always awful at trying to put them on. So he usually walks me through it and helps me.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
is super cool. I love that. Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of like that rock that's like, okay, like you got this, because I always panic and I'm like, I don't have enough time to get ready because the time just goes out the window. And
Aww. And he's there to keep you. You can do this. You got this. Yes.
it's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that, and he's usually like, we need to get out the door now.
You got it. You got it. Oh, well, that's good. Well, you guys are awesome. Wonderful.
Thank
Great.
you.
I want to play your video if we can at this moment. So I want to show everybody just how wonderful you guys are. You were rocking. You got it all. So I'm going to turn this around. Bear with me.
and then maybe after the video we could go into some fun questions. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
These are the more serious questions related to music and the band and all that stuff. So we usually have a segment where, we ask sort of off the wall questions that mean absolutely nothing, but they're just fun.
Oh, I like that.
There we go.
I will say before the video starts, the universal reviews from all my friends is that needs more Corey. more Corey. Grab another.
All right. Woo! Oh, that's great.
Corey, you were rocking out there, my friend.
See, I know. I kind of like want to like it's even just hearing it, even though it's like your own song. I'm like, damn, I want to go pick up my like guitar right now.
Oh,
We would love that. If you guys ever want to play here ever again, and if you want to play now, we encourage you.
Yeah,
We talked about like trying to rework some of our stuff into acoustic.
yeah, that's coming. Yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast shooting that video. That was great.
Mhm. So much fun.
Awesome.
awesome. So how about some fun
I love
questions?
it.
Lisa?
Okay, you want me to start?
Kind
Okay.
of glitch. Okay, I'll
If
take this
you-
one. I'll start this one.
Okay, go ahead.
She's glitching, so give her a minute. So this is an individual question. So guys, each of you, if you were stranded on a deserted island, what 5 items would you want to bring with you?
Go ahead, Caitlin.
I have to
Always
think
make
on
me
this
start.
one. No, I.
Well, boy, it couldn't be. See, my instinct is to say Kindle, but the battery's going to die. I mean, I think I think I'd take an acoustic guitar to keep myself sane. I'd probably take my favorite like book that I could just reread over and over and over again. That'd be Catch-22. It's my favorite book. I could read that over and over. And my kitty just showed up.
Aw.
Aw.
Hi, kitty. I would take a cat if I could. Does that count as an item?
Yeah.
That gets into that like.
Anything you want.
I mean, they're like family members. Are they items? That's like their property. But I'd bring like kitties. Oh shit! Well, if people count that, I gotta bring my wife because I'm gonna get so, wife, kitty, kid,
Oh, so now she's an item.
an acoustic. Well, the parameters of the question were vague, so I'm going with it.
That's true.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. That's
No,
awesome.
you know what? Actually, I take. I've always wanted to be really good at, and a
A
yo-yo.
ukulele.
No, I've always wanted to be really good at yo-yoing, and I feel like if I had a lot of time to practice, I feel like I could be good at it.
Do you think after like 3 days you'd be over that?
Well, if I'm stranded on an island for a long time, I'm sure got to do something to keep the wild time away.
True.
I think I'd learn to whittle too. I figure on a deserted island, there's a lot of like trees, so I'd probably learn to whittle. Maybe I could whittle myself a wooden yo-yo. That wouldn't be bad.
Hey.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the 5. That's feels like that's a tricky one. But yeah, the acoustic guitar definitely. That's a good one. I mean, yeah, I'd have to. Can I take a generator and some gasoline? Maybe if I take
Whatever.
those 2 things, then that opens up the last 2. I guess. I guess I could bring a computer then or something. But I don't know. Man, that's a good question. It's
Yeah, we're so attached to electron. It's hard to think of anything.
it's hard to disconnect now. Yeah, I don't know a world without it.
Yeah.
It'd be tricky. Yeah, let's bring my PlayStation or something. Yeah.
Just stare at it wistfully, like it doesn't work.
The thing is, I wouldn't survive more than like a week anyway. So
Oh, come
I'm
on.
not the most
Andy.
not the most outdoorsy person. So yeah, I don't even think.
I'm not even sure I'd last a week.
Yeah, it wouldn't even matter what I took, really.
Yeah. Well, I thought of my 5 items.
Hey, let's hear it.
And I tried to actually think of items. I don't know if they count, but so trying to be strategic here. My Carmex chapstick, can't go anywhere without it. A case of wine.
Ooh.
At
Oh,
least
hell yeah. Whoop,
that would
whoop.
last a little bit longer than just like a day.
There you go.
Shampoo, because I feel like you can use shampoo also as soap.
Yes.
And
All
yeah.
in one. Yeah.
yes, a blanket, and how about a clean pair of underwear? Because I don't know. I know like I could probably wash with like the
That's
shampoo
true.
and the
I
water.
just,
I love
I
it.
just like the fact that
Hygiene.
given these answers, I think it reveals the differences in outlook on life. Like Caitlin's so sunny and optimistic. Like you are clearly contemplating that you are being rescued like very shortly. 'Cause you're bringing-
Yeah, she's gonna make it. She wants to make it, and she wants to be fresh and clean whenever she gets rescued.
Oh, great.
You'd be so embarrassed for the rescuers. Like, no, I gotta smell good. Me and Andy know we're gonna die though, so we're thinking of like.
Yeah, let me just enjoy like the last week. Yeah.
Oh.
And Caitlin's like, they're gonna send out the search party for me. Like, if I go missing, people are gonna be celebrating. So, like,
No.
nobody's coming for me. I'm gonna die there. I gotta bring things that have lasting longevity.
No. So my whole thing behind this is self-care. Like you have to take care of yourself. And these are the things that I feel like I would need to take care of myself.
Right.
This is like your life coach day like 101 here.
It
There
is.
you go.
I'm starting it. It's already
Free lesson.
started. Yes.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome. Lisa, your question.
Yeah. My questions, if we all answer those, okay. If you were in a hot tub time machine and you
In a
sat
what?
in the dial, hot tub time machine,
Oh.
I love that movie.
I do too.
So yeah, if you were in a hot tub time machine, you're setting the dial. Where are you going?
Ooh. Boy, that's interesting.
I would go to the 70s because I feel like that's where I belong and that's where I should be. But I don't
Okay.
know. I got stuck here. It's just like peace and I don't know, love and I don't know.
Yeah.
Woodstock. Is that like 60s? That's like 60s though, right?
Aw.
I would go back to 2002 and stop myself from meeting Andy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
He had to get one in.
I had to. We've known each other for so long.
You have to admire that he would waste such an amazing opportunity for that. But
But then we had an
I
example.
respect it. I respect it.
I know this is kind of macabre, but I'd actually go back to like 1934 to see the build up towards like World War II because it's my favorite era to read about, and I think just seeing how all of that happened in real time would be utterly fascinating. And it's like far enough back that it's like to someone like me, it's like it's starting to come like to like ancient history. I mean, obviously it's not ancient, but it's close enough that I feel like I'd have a connection to the people in that era. Like would I like to go back to medieval times and see how it's like life was? Like, sure, but I wouldn't understand any of the language or have anything to do with the people. But I feel like that era, I could kind of pass. I could get by.
I just think of medieval torture and I wouldn't want to be there for that. Like you do
Yeah, but
one
you know
thing
that-
wrong and you're done.
Yeah, it's true. You have a time machine though, and so I guess you could get out whenever it started getting rough. So why pick whatever you want? I don't know. I would. I've always been fascinated with the 1920s. Like maybe it's just because I watch a lot of Boardwalk Empire and Peaky Blinders and stuff. I think like that'd be kind of a cool time to visit. that, or I think it would be cool to just go back like really far, like, ancient Rome, and just the difference between society now, like, just our cell phone and technology, like how dependent we are on that, and just, you go into these people that are fighting in the Colosseum and stuff for survival. It's just such a difference. So yeah, I'd probably just go crazy with it and go really far back. Again, assuming I can just jump in the time machine and come back whenever I want.
There you go. You can go anywhere. Yep.
I think if that was me in a hot tub time machine, I'd go back to the 80s and I would hand out combs, brushes, and flat irons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take back something from now that they did that hasn't come out yet, and then say, pull out your phone, like, because it wasn't invented then, and they'll be all looking at you like, what is that? Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
That's so funny. I just watched Hot Tub Time Machine too, like a week or two ago.
Wait. Did you just see?
I need to watch that again.
See, this is where it's confusing. Did you see Hot Tub Time Machine, TOO, or did you see Hot Tub Time Machine 2, the sequel?
Is there a sequel? I didn't even know.
Sequel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
First one.
Oh, okay. So it was, I saw the Hot Tub Time Machine, TOO, period. Right.
Corey is our grammar police. He keeps us in check
No shit.
at every turn.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What is the weirdest question you've ever been asked?
Well, I haven't done a ton of interviews, so the Hot Tub Time Machine one's up there, and I liked it. It gets me thinking.
No, I think we were asked a really odd question. Was it through? It was like through Facebook Messenger. Something about like helping someone, or we said it was like, how can we help you? And they said you can't.
We're going to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, because our music is gonna send someone to hell.
Oh yeah, we did get that. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That is very bizarre.
That's yeah. Well, okay. So we have like one of those automated. Hey, somebody messages us and it says, "Hey, it's Victoria Fire. Something. How can we help you?" And we just haven't changed it. I don't think recently, but yeah, somebody did say exactly that. Like you can't help us because you're basically like your music's from the devil or something like that. So yeah, that wasn't really a question, but
it's
yeah,
more of a statement. But sure,
more of a statement. But yeah,
We were asking the question.
yeah, but
Actually, the weirdest question that I've ever been asked, and I thought this is where you were going with the one story, Caitlin. It would be, "Oh shit, you didn't sit on my fentanyl patch, did you?"
Oh no!
That's the weirdest question I've ever been asked.
Oh no!
yeah, we won't go. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, say any names or anything. But yeah, that was
an odd question, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Okay.
Everyone looks around like,
I don't think I have. I hope I haven't.
yeah. We all had to drop dead in our tracks to make sure we weren't stepping on it. Yeah, that was that is a good one.
That is. See, look, he heard that I was taking him on the. He heard I was taking him on the island.
Oh.
That's so cute.
So this is part of my plan. Actually, my wife is constantly trying to get Andy to get a cat. So this is everybody pressure Andy to get a cat.
I like cats just fine. They're great.
I love cats. I wish. Oh, you got a cat?
Oh yeah, Zeus coming in. Caitlin's got her mic off.
here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, it's the cat portion of the evening.
Oh, he's coming around this way. Come here. Come here, buddy.
All right, we gotta have a competition. Whose cat's cuter?
Ooh.
I mean, clearly, Zeus is so dapper.
Oh,
You guys are
Yeah.
so lucky. I wish I could have a cat. I'm allergic to them. But I love cats. They're adorable. They're sweet. Before I found out I was allergic. There you go.
Aw.
So yeah, it was funny. I used to have two cats. They were sisters, and they were Calico and Siamese cross.
Oh,
And this
Oh,
one
a
time,
Siamese cross. I love Siamese kitties.
yeah, they were. But these little girls, they were so cute. And I remember this one time, the one cat. I was sleeping. I was on my back, and I was having a dream that somebody was punching me in the chest. I wake up. It's my cat kneading on my chest. I jumped, and that cat flew across the room so fast.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck? Holy shit! This cat flew across the room faster than Superman. Okay, not even kidding. But that's so.
See, Andy, this is why you need a cat. So you have a cat story to tell.
It's true.
There you go.
Oh, I'm just gonna go to the board for a quick second. Actually have David Donnelly tuned in from Norwich, England. He says, I love this band. Fire promo video is particularly awesome. Are there any thoughts of a UK visit?
No, we'd love to.
We would love to.
That's honestly, that's a big one on my personal bucket list. That's like where I would love to go next is visit England and Wales and Scotland, and yeah, to hit anything over there would be amazing. And I mean, I was talking to our producer recently about that, and just seems like Europe has honestly like a more vibrant music scene. Like, you know, anywhere from what I understand, you know, anywhere you go over there, you know, any local show, somebody's going to be there, you know, going crazy. And, you know, not like we don't get that here in some places, but it seemed, yeah, it would just be definitely check that off the list, like to go over there and play a show, even just a couple small clubs or something would be awesome.
I'm not sure I mentioned this to you guys, but when Heather and I went to Dallas, we went to a bar and there was two guys from Manchester. They were the nicest guys in the world, but they were there to see a band called the Lottery Winners. And it's a band that's from Manchester, I think. But they flew all the way to Dallas to see them because they like knew like one of the members or something. And then because they were going down to see him in Austin. And then I think they might have been playing by South by Southwest or something. And then the show got canceled. So they had come all the way down. And then Heather decided to challenge them at darts, and of course we got our asses kicked because why would you challenge an Englishman to darts? But yeah, I want to go back there because I want to meet because like it was one of those things like we took their Facebook that it's like if I'm going to the UK, I am visiting these guys. They were awesome. Yeah, I'd love to. I've always wanted. That's on my bucket list too. I definitely want to go there.
That's
Same.
cool.
Especially
We're gonna make it happen. Victoria Fire will make it happen.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a date.
That's awesome. There you go. Anyone else on the board, Candy? There.
I'm just gonna go back 1 sec. David says you'd need 100 packets of strings too, Andy. I think he might be referring to the deserted island question. I'm not sure though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah. Guitar strings. Oh, I'd have to add that to the acoustic guitar strings, generator, gasoline, and my PlayStation.
I'm actually really disappointed.
There you go.
I think both of you had an obvious answer. You should take 8x10 picture of me because that would give you hope and inspiration and confidence.
We should have thought of that. We
Yeah.
should have thought of that.
What were we thinking?
That's why I'm always handing out 8x10s of myself to people just in case they ever get
That's fair.
stranded on it.
Corey is our inspiration.
There you go. Lisa, I think that brings us to your famous bucket list question.
Yeah, what's on your crazy bucket list? That was one of our questions. See if you want to answer that one.
For me, it's crazy. I don't want to say anything. I could get real weird with this, but what I really wanted to do, and we were going to do it for my 40th birthday, but COVID canceled it. I've always wanted to go to Oktoberfest. Um,
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Oh.
my ancestry is mostly German, so I want to go back to the motherland and see where my family came from. Also, I love beer, so I go to all kinds of beer festivals. Love making beer, so I think that would just be awesome to do. And
You
and
make
just-
your own beer, huh?
I'm sorry.
You make your own beer.
Yeah. If I was thinking about that on my list of things, I was like, could I bring my beer making kit because I'm going to need it to get by on that island.
You
But then again,
could.
I would die before it. I would die before it was ready, so that would not work. But yeah, they actually the second biggest Oktoberfest in the world is actually in Cincinnati, or I think or it's the biggest in the United States is in Cincinnati. I don't think it's the second biggest in the world. It might be. I don't know. But it's called Z Oktoberfest. I don't know if it's Oktoberfest, but it's awesome. We should play there because they have all kinds of music playing there.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that would be my dream to go to Oktoberfest. I'd love it.
Very cool.
Super
Andy?
cool.
That legitimately is on my bucket list as well. So I'm going to steal that and add it to mine. But I mean, like I said before, like the traveling, just there's a lot of places in Europe I'd love to hit up. Too many to list, really, but I have been to Italy. That's one place I've been, but I'd love to go back and see more. And I guess I kind of have like a long-term dream. I don't know. We'll see if it makes it happen or not. But to open my own music venue, and yeah, bucket list. You're asking.
That would be super cool. Absolutely, yeah. I would love that.
And then you won't book us to play. You'll be like, they're not good enough.
I mean, I'm just not a fan. What can I say?
They're not that good.
No, I'm kidding. I stole that from one of my favorite shows, Flight of the Conchords. I highly recommend it if you like dry, like I don't know, dry. They're not British, but it is British humor, I guess, in a way. But yeah, hilarious show on HBO. But yeah, I stole that from them. They just weren't fans of their own band and wouldn't book themselves.
Oh, no.
No, I am a fan, but yeah, no.
Oh, that's crazy.
All right, Caitlin, how about you?
Yeah, you're up, Caitlin. You had plenty of time.
I know, it's weird. I'm like, I've never put that much thought into it, and I don't know what that says about me. I love tropical locations, so I always like just imagine myself like living, like beachfront. But I also have this passion for English bulldogs and maybe a beachfront house with dozens of English bulldogs. So something, living my life happily with lots of drool and
Lots of drool.
happiness.
Oh.
Smart, just combine them.
Yeah, Roscoe's around here somewhere. I have an English bulldog, so he's
Nice.
he's somewhere around here.
Oh,
He's sleeping.
so cool.
That's awesome.
Superpowers. Yes, superpowers. If you could be invisible or if you could fly, which one would you be? Which one would you choose?
Oh, 100% fly, because I'm a big like I think a lot of people. I was always kind of interested in them, and then COVID hit, and I became a huge bird guy.
Okay.
Big bird guy now. And so the idea, like, actually, I get really pissed, but I can't imagine how much would it suck to be a captive bird because they clip your wings? Like, that would have to be the worst thing in the world. It's like to be able to fly. I don't know. It would be just so exhilarating. I'd have to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, invisibility, I don't think would help me because it doesn't take your voice away. I think it would, because like I would like try to sneak into somewhere, and because I'm so clumsy, I'd like hit myself and be like, "Fuck!" And I'm sorry. I would immediately reveal myself to if I'm trying to sneak into somewhere cool, it would never ever work. So
Right.
I'll go with invisibility because I'm very much like, I don't know if you ever saw Curb Your Enthusiasm, but that's one of my favorite shows. But I'm very much like Larry David. Sometimes I just don't like to be bothered. So I'd probably just like cut in line and just do like mundane things just to kind of just make it easier on myself.
There you go. I like it. And
Aw.
Caitlin?
I would say probably being able to fly. We have some pretty horrendous traffic around here, and just to be able to like fly above it and completely avoid it, like that would be amazing.
That would be another advantage about the invisibility because I would love to make everybody jealous and envious. So like I feel like if I'm flying, everybody's like, damn, I wish I could fly like that guy. See if you're
Right.
Yeah, that seems right. You would love to just lord over people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
100%.
hover there. Just watch them.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
All right. How about Batman or Superman?
Oh, definitely Batman.
Mhm.
Batman
Yeah,
cartoon.
Guys,
You answered that way too quickly. Were you thinking about it in terms of like dating one of them? You're like, oh yeah.
Oh,
No, listen. I was made fun of. I remember I think it was first grade, because I love the Batman cartoon and I watched it every single day after school. And
the Batman the animated series. The
Yeah.
voice actor for Batman just recently passed away.
but that show though, I mean,
Oh, that's a
I don't know.
legit, really, really good animated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that cartoon's amazing. For me, 100% Batman, because as much as I love Superman, it's kind of like and I know to go against Jerry Seinfeld on this, Andy, as much as we love Seinfeld, but the fundamental problem with Superman is he's just any problem that he has is not really a problem at all except kryptonite, which for some reason is like the most readily accessible material in the universe if you're a Superman villain. But Batman's just at his core a normal, ordinary guy who gets by on his like detective skills and like craftiness, and I've always been fascinated by that. I think it's like almost cool to have a superhero who has no real super power.
Yeah.
Really,
It's definitely Batman for me. I like them both, but huge Batman fan. And I kind of don't like when they combine the universes, because that takes away the whole thing of Batman being, just a normal guy who
right.
you could theoretically see maybe being somewhat possible. But yeah, when you put Superman in the world with him, then all of a sudden it doesn't work.
Yeah, right. I mean, the dude can literally fly so fast he makes the world go back in time. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Look at
Yes,
Batman.
suddenly Batman's he's not that cool anymore. But no,
Also,
definitely
I
Batman.
feel like I'll also have to say Batman as a Pittsburgh band, because the original movie Batman, Michael Keaton, Pittsburgh guy.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and gold too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Coke or Pepsi, guys?
Oh,
That's,
Coke, 100%.
that's what I was going to ask. Last question.
Coke.
Coke for sure.
I always felt like growing up, like every family is either a Coke or Pepsi family, and I feel like it was all the weird kids' houses who had Pepsi. So
Oh, we just lost, like 50% of our fan base. Thanks.
Oh no.
but no, the setup there was, Andy, were you a Pepsi family growing up? Because
I just said Coke, so no, you can't catch. You can't catch me on that one.
so that would be a moment that we need to like cut and edit, where you just said, no, I just did Coke.
He's always looking for a way to get me.
Oh.
This is what I do. This is what we deal with.
Listen, I'm a Coca-Cola girl. Lisa's a Pepsi girl.
I'm Pepsi. Yes. Now,
Sorry, Lisa.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I
I'll
like
take
Mountain, I like
Lisa,
Mountain
hey,
Dew.
I
That's a
win,
Pepsi
bitch.
product.
I win.
I do like Mountain Dew. That's a Pepsi product.
Hey,
Very true.
There you go.
What
Now-
about Dr. Pepper?
No,
That's Coke, I think.
I
Is
think
it?
Dr. Pepper's like its own thing. It's like David S. Pumpkins. It's its own thing.
I really like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'd take. It wasn't an option, but I'd take that one over both.
Yeah, I
Have you
do
ever
like
tried
Dr. Pepper.
vanilla Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I'm not real big into the vanilla
I like
flavors.
the
They had
the
vanilla
cherry.
Coke Zero, and I never liked that. But it's weird. I love vanilla ice cream, but like the actual vanilla in a drink never did it for me. I will say, one of my favorite ripoff brands of all time, though, is like I'll say, like Walmart has those like Sam's Club drinks.
Right.
Their version of Dr. Pepper was Dr. Thunder.
Yes, Dr.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah.
And this is actually I don't know why I just thought of this, but I remember in high school we decided to make, it was actually my friend Pete, Andy, who you know. So we had a bunch of, like, our parents had bought for some god and who knows what reason, like the crappy knockoffs. So Dr. Pepper was Dr. Thunder and Mountain Dew was Mountain Lightning. And so I decided to come up with my own mixed drink. And because it was Dr. Thunder and Mountain Lightning, and so I mixed like 3 different kinds of booze and called it the perfect storm because it's thunder and lightning. It wasn't good, obviously, but
Official drink of Victoria Fire going forward.
There
yeah,
you
we
go.
need to make the mountain, the perfect storm. Dr. Pepper.
I always liked. I don't think it's that bad, but I always liked that there was Mr. Pibb. Like, it was such a knockoff that he didn't even get a degree. He doesn't have any honorary things to his name. He's just a guy. He's just a guy.
Mr. Pibb.
Oh, that's too good.
It's an acceptable beverage, I think, if I remember right.
Pibb
Yeah.
is, like, falls into that bucket with like Tab. It's like one of those weird drinks that like exists, like RC Cola.
Yeah.
Which I actually really liked RC Cola, and I haven't had one of those in my God, 15 years, probably 20. But like all these weird sodas that don't make it to the top brand.
Right.
Donut, you ask us a mundane question. I mean, we'll go for a while.
I'm the cat
Yeah,
whisperer.
Ask about the music, and I'm like, I don't know. You ask about off-brand soda, I'm there.
Well, what
That's
would you, if someone had come to you and asked for advice, what advice would you give to them if they're just starting out in the music field?
Huh.
Just that it takes time and just to stick with it. I mean, like, it's very awkward at first doing anything musical, like, trying to grip a guitar chord, or it seems very unnatural and just like this. At first you're like, this isn't going to work, but if you stick with it, eventually that light will come on one day, and then it's kind of off to the races after that, and then the creativity can start flowing. Yeah.
Awesome.
I would say go see Victoria Fire for inspiration.
There you go.
Hey,
Not bad advice.
Now, I think I would say, honestly, like, if you're at the point where, I think I hesitated to join bands for so long because I was like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not ready for this? What if I screw up? What if, you got to be perfect to go out there? And I wish I had just, like, gotten over that earlier. Like, just like, to hell with it. I'm going to play any live show that comes up because half of music is just like being up there and having fun. I think it's infectious. Like, I know that we have screwed up like songs, and if you're good enough to recover, you will. And like, you were like, oh man, everybody probably heard that we messed it up, and like, you'll even sometimes talk to the musicians in the crowd who are usually attuned to that kind of thing, and they're like, no, I didn't even notice because you were just like having so much fun on stage. So I wish I'd gotten over that earlier. Like, just that like kind of like fear and trepidation. Like,
Yeah.
It's easy to get in your own head as a musician. I think we all do. So just don't let it, my advice to any young musician would be to not let it like stop you from progressing and going for it.
Gotcha.
And even, and even the best bands like mess up and make mistakes, and that's not why we listen to music. That's not why, that's not the reason. And my advice would be, in like those times where it is tough and it is difficult, and sometimes you're like, oh damn, this is frustrating, I don't want to do this right now. Like, to remember like the reason that you started doing it in the first place.
Exactly.
Remember like the feeling that it gives you, and the good parts about it and what you
Mhm.
enjoy. And it, like Andy said, Corey, it's really easy to get in your own head and to constantly critique yourself. But if you're living like that, and if that's where you're always at, like, you're just going to drive yourself crazy. And I think, kind of what they said is just really feeling it, enjoying it. Remember why you're doing it.
Exactly. Because you love it, you have passion for it, and you just keep striving forward. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's it. I think David Donnelly just mentioned, by the way, if you make it to UK, I
have a tech for you.
I'm sorry. I tech for you. I've tech all instruments for various members of Blondie Pistols Bowie's band. There you go.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'd say that's good qualifications. We yeah, I'm sold.
Okay, I'm sold
There you
too.
go.
There
We
you
actually
go.
have
There you go.
Guillermo
We love it.
We have another person tuned in. I always say the name wrong. Guillermo Costa. He plays guitar for the band Red Raven. They just released a new single, Lay It on the Line music video. So Guillermo has a phrase that Lisa and I, or that Lisa goes back and forth with him. It's freaking hilarious as all hell. So Lisa, go for it.
I'm gonna do it just for Guilherme. Boca de Barrio. Just for you, Guilherme. Boca de Barrio.
Which I guess in Portuguese it means what the fuck or something. I don't know.
Oh. It's like, if it's in a bad way, what the fuck? Or you can say, what the fuck, man? Hey.
Is that what he's saying is the theme of this interview?
No.
Okay.
We just
I mean, it'd be fair.
Boca de Barrio.
I'm just glad I didn't get I'm just glad that people aren't chiming in with death threats about Pepsi.
Oh.
Yeah, you really, like I said, you really put us out on a limb there. I don't know.
On the plus side, Georgia's going to welcome us with open arms, being Coke fans, man.
There you go.
Atlanta, the home of Coca-Cola.
Well, you can always put it like this: I'll drink Pepsi if there's no Coca-Cola. If there's no Coca-Cola, I'll drink Pepsi. Vice versa. However I say it.
Fuck your Pepsi.
For sure.
Fuck your Coke.
All right, so guys, we are running out of time here. Start wrapping things up very soon. But what's next for you guys? What's on your radar? I know you guys have a show coming up tomorrow. Is there any new music? Anything else that you might want to share with us?
Yeah, Andy, I don't know if you wanted to handle that.
Yeah. I think, like we said earlier, we're really just kind of getting going here again. We put the first single out there with the video, and we did just get a new drummer. We should give a shout out to our man Dean, who just joined. He wasn't able to join us tonight. He works late some evenings, but he just joined the band the last 2 months. So we've been. We'll pass that along. But yeah, so we really, we've been hitting it hard, practicing and getting him up to speed. And honestly, the three of us were pretty rusty because we hadn't been able to get together for a while. But so really, we're really looking at 2023. I think that's going to be our best year yet. We're going to get the rest of the EP out. We have 4 other songs that we're going to release. We should have another. We're going to have another single.
We're doing that lyric video for.
We're going to have another single coming out here in the next 2 months. So watch out for that. Awesome. And then the rest of the EP will follow. And then, we're going to book. We're working on booking some shows both in Pittsburgh, and we're starting to do some road trips. We have another show coming up in March in Erie as well, and we'll be posting details about that. Awesome. So there's definitely some things. Some things on the horizon.
And you're coming to Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that'd be great.
Pretty soon, at least. I can hold on to that.
And then with Dean, we're already getting. It's all right now. It's almost like we want to impress him. We're all right, we got some new material to work on. Now with the new guy to see what we come up with him. So
exactly. Yes.
we've been jamming out with some new like riffs and stuff that we're working on. So yeah, this is I think it's gonna be a good year for us.
Yeah, all exciting things.
Absolutely. No, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to see you live. Absolutely.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes,
You're
thank you so
welcome.
much.
Definitely.
Thank you all for coming.
Is there anything final from you guys? Is there anything you want to say to your fans, your followers, your friends that are watching?
I mean, thank everybody who supports us, we really appreciate it. It's been great we were a little quiet for a while, but once we put the video up, we've been really getting a lot of great feedback, and people really seem to like it. And it's been really positive, and we really appreciate. Honestly, there's so much content out there. So for someone to even just take a few minutes and watch one of our songs, I see it. Another visitor, awesome.
Happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, there's so much content out there for somebody to take a couple minutes and watch our video and respond to it. That's we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it means a lot to us.
Where can everybody find you guys? Plug your website and plug all your socials.
Pretty easy to find. We have on Facebook Victoria Fire Band, and we're also on Instagram. Our whatever you want to call it. What's the name? It's IG at Victoria Fire Band. We're working on getting a more official website as well. That'll be coming soon. We'll put all that on our
VictoriaFireBand.com.
Victoria Fire Band will be out there. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of planning on doing that once the EP is done and ready to go. But yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, and you can find the fire video on YouTube as well as on our Facebook page.
And Apple Music, we're on Victoria.
Apple Music and Spotify, and we're on all of the major platforms now.
Yeah,
awesome.
Victoria Fire, you'll find it on those on the streaming platforms.
There you go. So before I turn it back to Lisa, I just first of all wanted to apologize again. I'm not able to show myself. I'm not feeling great, but personally, I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been great to meet you, getting to know you. And thank you for being a Coca-Cola fan. We love you.
That's what I would tell anybody out there. If you like Pepsi, don't listen to our music now.
I'm
no.
Sorry, Lisa.
Anyway, because I love my Pepsi.
And Lisa will never have us back. Way to go, Corey. You burned another bridge.
We hope you feel better, though, Candy.
Hey, there's two people in this equation, so because you guys are all Coca-Cola fans, y'all are my best friends right now. So.
There we go.
There we go.
Caitlin, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, feel better, and thank you again for having us. I had a lot of fun.
You're welcome. Thank you all for coming. I was looking forward to this all day, and I couldn't wait for you guys to be here. And it's really nice to have all you, the whole band. Sometimes I just get one member, and that's good too. But when you have the full band, you get the full rounded picture of everything that's going on. So, but thank you.
Oh,
so much. I want you guys to come back. You're more than welcome to come back. And when you do, you can do your acoustic.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Yes, we encourage that. We really want you to do that. So yeah, I want you to show everybody what you do and what you're about. So.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Awesome. And we'll schedule that for this one.
Thank you to anybody who listens and watches this. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Candy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.
Right.
There you go.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. I'm going to close off here, and then we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
This is
you.
Lisa with Front Row Promotions with Candy, my sidekick, my beautiful sister, and my co-host. And we tonight had Victoria Fire, which are what wonderful people they are. We love them already. We want them to come back, and we will schedule them as soon as possible. And definitely, we're going to let them go tonight for we had a wonderful show. And come back and play your music, guys. We love you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank
We
you.
did. Thanks for having us.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.